Hi everybody, it's Josh and Elizabeth from Things from Another World, also at tfaw.com, T-F-A-W.
And we are continuing to review DC's The New 52. This is the third week, September 13th, or 14th, and this is video 2 of 3.
That's right. We're going to start off with Grifter, number 1. I don't really know what much to say other than it's kind of like an alien abduction kind of story, it seemed like to me, and I just was lost. It wasn't a very good first issue, kind of leading me into the character. There isn't very much of him as kind of the Grifter character, so I was kind of disappointed. It's not worthy for me.
For me, actually, his character kind of reminded me of Sawyer from Lost, if he got possessed by aliens a little bit. I thought it was interesting, like I was drawn into the story, but yeah, I would say I'm definitely fence-worthy at the most as well. I would like to see where it goes because I think the mask is kind of cool, and I'm kind of curious to see what this means. It had a lot of action-adventure in it for me, and I kind of like that.
Okay.
Great, I have got Deathstroke number 1. Now, I'm going to really try not to spoil anything for this. Let me just say, the final pages, I enjoyed the comic far more than I thought I would in the beginning. There's a certain setup there that I thought was possibly going to be really annoying, and you see later that, well, I don't want to say any more. But again, for a reboot, this seems to be taking Slade Wilson at the end of his career, not the beginning. He's kind of struggling to find work. People are thinking he's a has-been, and it's not. They haven't rolled him back, as far as I can tell.
I think they did a really good job with this first issue, though, kind of setting up where the story is going to go. He is completely BA. He knows his stuff. He can still compete with the Young Bucks, and it was wall-to-wall action, pretty much, or cover-to-cover action. So I am definitely going to be picking this up next month. Fence-worthy for me. We'll see. We'll see if it continues past issue number 2, but it looks like they're going in a good direction.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed the art by Joe Bennett. I thought he did really good, like the dynamic stuff and all that. And I thought, yeah, it's fence-worthy, but with a twist.
Cool. I'm going to go with Mr. Terrific number 1. This was actually my favorite comic that came out this week from the New 52. It's pretty much the perfect comic. I have no experience with the character whatsoever, and it introduced me really well into who he is. And they just did a phenomenal job with it. The art is right up my alley. I really like it. There's the fine kind of penciling that's in there. It's not too thick on the inks or anything, and it's just a fun book. And then on the last kind of page, they really set it up for issue number 2, and I am so stoked to see what happens with it. So nice.
What I was happy to see is there is a certain tall, blonde, busty Karen in this comic, who I'm assuming is Karen Starr, also known as Power Girl. So that was a nice little entry there for me. I like that. I would say I'm wavering between fence-worthy and box-worthy. I'm definitely going to be looking at the next few issues, and if it continues in this vein, it's going to be box-worthy for me.
And one thing about this one was that people were crying out that the DCU is not for diversity, or there aren't very many creators, they're women or minorities, and this one stars a minority, and so for just that, I mean that helps kind of improve that whole perception.
So box-worthy, fence-worthy, or not worthy?
Fence-worthy and box-worthy. Yeah.
Next up, I have Legion Lost, and it's an apt title because I was completely lost. I mean, as a reboot, as an entry point, it was very confusing to me. I don't have a deep history of a deep knowledge of the history of the DCU, so it was confusing.
I'm going to echo all of her stuff again. They explained the characters pretty well and what they could do, what their powers were, but they didn't really do a good job of hammering home why I care. And so I'm not going to read the second issue. It's just not important to me. So.
Yep. Yeah, I would definitely say it's not worthy. It seemed like a filler for the 52.
So that's it for this video. Go ahead and check out part 3 coming next.
Yay! And at the end of this video, there will be a coupon that you can use at tfaw.com. The coupon is called YouTube, so use it and save money on comics.